Hello, welcome everybody. Another video here on our channel. Happy new month. February kicked in. Interesting month as we're seeing some developments play out when it comes to the trades that I've told you about a month ago. So this week of December here that I've pointed out was when I called for higher prices of oil. It had a temporary check back, V recovery, and then just launch pad. Breaking out of this long, as you can see, falling wedge over here where these two trend lines were moving parallel since July 2025. And as we can see here, it has broken out. Last week, it checked back down here, sold off, and now we're slightly bouncing. This is very good. There's no topping tail. We're not at the highs or the very lows to talk about bottoms or tops. We're in a very good spot here in the sweet zone. 76 for the USO. I know some of you might be trading the VANIC oil services, but I find them too expensive, already extended on the high mark. So I am trading USO with some options. The options have been pretty good. I took profits last week and waited for that check back that I thought would see. This is a very healthy pullback. I went in again the trade, and at this point I think it's very clear as to where this could be going if we maintain these levels. These levels are good levels of support. I'd noted here that this is a temporary resistance. We tested it once, came down. Until we find the power to break through, I think these are the areas where I would be selling entirely my positions of oil. And I think this is highly doable in the high 60s, low 70s zone. This is major resistance. Now, if we break out those, then we can talk about 80 and 90. But I think these are very reasonable levels to expect to start taking aggressively profits. Now, one other trade I want to discuss about is the BP oil. I had talked in my previous channel, one of the midstream, upstream, downstream companies. BP was looking very good. I want to point out this long slope that we've been in for all these years here. As you can see, we've been trending downward. If you would draw a parallel here, you'd see that we were stuck in this parallel zone, and now it seems like we're breaking out. It's not entirely confirmed, but in terms of the amount of touches this trend line has, it makes it weaker. Just like when support is hit several times, it becomes weaker support. Same goes for resistance. When it's hit several times, then we find that that weakens over a period of time. And if we look at BP, last time it was in its all-time highs was during the 2006 and 2007. This was the blow-off top. And ever since, we've been on a downside. So I do find this as a really good trade, especially for options. I'm not saying you should go all in, but definitely you should start inching in at least, because I think we have ways to go. And it's far cheaper than some of the other companies, and it hasn't run to the higher levels that we've seen some of the other companies like ExxonMobil has, or let's say Chevron. So moving on, I also want to talk about CONAGRA. I told you about CONAGRA about a month ago that we're in this zone of a possible breakout, and Lord and behold, look at this beautiful move on the upside. Beautiful move. I was a buyer in these levels earlier December, and we have about 12% in a period of 3 weeks. This is a very good sign. We might see a pullback, but I think this is a temporary resistance area. If we break out of here, I think we have a long way to go. Playing with options as well on this one, and I think this is a beautiful trade with minimum risk. We've already been in these levels that we've seen that were hit several years ago. So you can say that these stocks are pretty cheap, and especially when you add some options, you can have much higher gains. This is all I got for you guys. Bitcoin has been going much lower. This could probably mark the end of the bull cycle, as many are saying. In terms of rates, we're seeing rates are somewhat increasing, not dramatically, but they're retesting the previous highs. We'll have to see this development. I do think that as the unemployment becomes weaker and weaker, as we've seen, this should come down decisively. I looked at other cycles, I looked at other periods when the Fed was cutting rates, or when we were in a similar situation where we had mixed signals about the economy. Whenever rates were going up, at some point they decisively came down. I still think this is a good trade. I've told you that these are my invalidation levels. If we break out here and confirm, then that trade is invalidated. Until that happens, I think this is a great opportunity. They're very cheap relative to the stock market that is right now not looking good. We have this engulfing red candle that took out yesterday's highs. We were talking about a potential breakthrough. That didn't confirm, and we're selling off decisively today, the Nasdaq as well. Now, the Russell is not looking that bad, but still it has erased almost entire gains from yesterday. So I would be very cautious about the stock market. I wouldn't be investing in the stock market as a whole. I would be picking some good trades here, like I've showed you guys: CONAGRA, USO, and BP. That's all I got for you guys. Enjoy. We'll talk soon. Thanks so much. Bye for now.